Good morning and welcome to the First Universalist Church of Yarmouth. My name is Joanna Landsman. I serve on the Worship Council here. And I'm so glad to be sharing this morning with you, and with all of you. A warm welcome again to all of you here gathered in our sanctuary and to our friends joining us online by Zoom. At First Universalist, our mission is to explore our faith, embrace this community, and to engage the world as spiritual seekers. May we take these words to heart. If this is your first time to our congregation, again, welcome. We invite you to fill out a connection card, which is located in the little racks in front of you in the pews, so that we may connect you with events and programs that interest you. And you can drop this card in the offering plate when it's passed later in our service. For those joining us with young children, there is nursery care available during our service for babies and toddlers or anyone needing to wiggle. The nursery is located out this side door and down the hallway on the left. Following our service this morning, all are invited to join us for coffee hour, which is time for friendship and fellowship. This is downstairs in the gathering room, which is right below the sanctuary, and we hope you join us. Before our service begins today, I do have a couple of announcements. First, after the service today, Reverend Hillary will be leading our monthly Soul Matters discussion. That's in the common room from 11:45 to 12:30. So please bring your coffee and join as we reflect on our September theme of welcome. And next, if you're interested in joining a small group, now is the time. Groups are gatherings of 6 to 8 members of our community who meet once a month or twice a month to check in and reflect on spiritual teachings and questions together. We're currently holding our annual small group sign up, and if you would like to join a group or are interested in learning more, please complete the form that's in the pews this morning and then drop it in the collection plate later on, or you can fill this out online as well in this week's channels. And now we have a word from Sam, our music director.
Hi, everyone. So I'm here to talk about the choir. Basically, anyone can join the choir. All right. Oh, wait, no. Okay. Here's some markers for whether or not you think you might be the right kind of person. Has it been 50 years since you've sung? Come on in. In elementary school, were you one of the top 5 recorder players in your class? Come on in. At karaoke, do you embarrass your friends with how good you are? Do you love the acoustics in your shower? And do you have an elementary school teacher that you resent who told you you can't sing? Yeah. If any of those are true, consider joining the choir. We meet every Thursday from 5:30 to 7. We're looking for all voices, but we're particularly looking for lower voices. So if anyone is a baritone or a bass or a contrabass or a super contrabass, I don't think that's a thing. Feel free to join us. Every Thursday, 5:30, we meet in the choir room just by the office. And then we normally sing every other Sunday or so. And I hope you're interested. If you are, you can find me or you can shoot me an email. And would look forward to seeing as many of you are interested. Even if you just want to try it out, come on by. Thanks.
Thanks, Sam. And as a choir member, we might be a little sparse today, and there's one little piece we're playing, so come on up. Trial by fire. Okay. I invite you now to just take a nice deep breath with me and settle into this time together. And Sam will now lead us into worship.
Thanks, Sam. Good morning. How are you? Beautiful day, huh? The calm after the storm? Did everyone get through yesterday intact? Okay? The acorns were flying as I was walking my dogs. I thought I maybe should wear a helmet. The acorns were flying. At any rate, I'm Reverend Hillary. I serve as the minister here. And friends, it is with peace and friendship that I say, whoever you are, wherever you're from, whomever you love, whatever it is you have done, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome in. Welcome to this shared space on this bright morning. We are so glad that you too have gathered here in peace and friendship with us. And Shana Tova to our friends celebrating Rosh Hashanah this weekend. May the year ahead be very sweet for you and for all, and may the days of awe ahead be a time of meaningful and compassionate reflection. Friends, we continue our month of welcome, this first month of our new church year, with a service today on space. No, alas, not outer space, but you can count that that sermon is probably coming down the pike at some point. Rather, today we are going to be considering this space, this one, right here, right now, and the potential it has to change our lives. Our opening words this morning are a poem by the celebrated American poet and teacher Ron Padgett. It's entitled simply, Poem. You're here, and if you relax for a moment, your back and other parts will arrive, and you can be together with yourself, a little happiness. I'm going to read it again. You're here, and if you relax for a moment, your back and other parts will arrive, and you can be together with yourself, a little happiness. Good morning, my friends. You're here. Relax. It's good to be together. As we arrive to this shared space, let's take a moment now to turn to our neighbors, wish them a good morning, and welcome them in. Good morning, good morning. Our choir will now lead us in song. Thank you, choir. Friends, will you rise in body and spirit and join us in singing our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. And Sam, are we doing this as a round, or are we just gonna... We are? All right.
So this is a bit of a round. There's parts 1 and part 2. Part 1 comes in at the start, and that's going to be this side. Part 2 comes in at the beginning where the number 2 is, right? So you see the word wander in the number 2, but you're going to start right at the beginning. Come, come. And that'll be this side with Sarah. We're going to sing it twice all the way through. So part 1, you'll be on your last note waiting for part 2 to catch up. Easy peasy. Come, come, whoever you are. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving. Ours is no caravan of despair. Come,
Please stay standing as we read aloud the words of our unison affirmation written in your order of service. We are united in seeking to increase love with justice and to constitute a free church open to all people, mindful of our past and drawing upon modern knowledge. We respond to the spiritual needs of persons and are devoted to the common good in community, nation, and world. We cherish the integrity of each individual and search for truth with reason as our guide. We respect differences of opinion and strive to be a democratic community. We are concerned with this world and open to the future. Thank you. You may be seated. And I want to invite Kathy McKenna and Raj Vinakata to light our chalice this morning. Good morning, you two.
Okay. Hillary asked to say a few words this morning about what the chalice and the chalice lighting means to us. I'm going first. We worked this out in advance. So I'm one of those unusual souls, a born and raised Unitarian Universalist, born into the Unitarian Church of Holton, and then raised in the even smaller Unitarian Universalist Church of Sangerville in the middle of nowhere, Maine. And I went out into the big world and discovered that there are loads of Unitarian Universalists out there. They come in lots of sizes and shapes and different beliefs and traditions and all that. But the chalice always reminded me that these were my people.
I married into Universalist Unitarianism. That was 23 years ago. And my experience with the chalice and even going to church was it was one of the few public moments of my life where I could center myself in the moment, where My brain wasn't thinking about the future, as it almost always does, and lament about the past, which it does in unison with thinking about the future. But the lighting of the chalice just kind of gave me permission to just be in the moment for the next hour or so. Take a deep breath, think about spaces, and enjoy being with friends, family, and wise people all around me.
And so, why don't we light the chalice? Are there any children who would like to join us up here, help us light the chalice this morning? Come on up.
While we do that, I can tell you that I never learned how to light a match when I was young. So for me, the biggest pressure of all of this was going to be the upcoming moment. So this is why we get married, right? Yeah, okay.
All right, guys, come on up. Get us supervised. And then, of course, after I light the candle, you all have to help me blow it out, okay? And we have to say the magic words. Here we go. Big blow.
Good work.
Thanks, everybody. Gwen and Mac, do you have something to help us wonder this morning?
Absolutely.
All right. Hi, Mac. Hi, Hillary.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. So I was thinking about welcoming people just the other day.
Oh?
Yeah, and I was thinking about the ways you can welcome people without talking or without using our voices.
Oh, like a wave.
Or a friendly smile.
Or a handshake.
Or like a kind of nod.
Or a hug. Or a kiss on the cheek. Or in the air.
Or a fist bump.
Okay, yes, all of those. But I was also thinking about signs of welcome. Like when we come into a space, how do our senses let us know this is a friendly place, someplace that we're welcome?
Interesting. Like what about a space creates like a welcoming vibe?
Yeah, precisely.
Okay, I have an idea. What if we try to look for welcoming things we have right here in our sanctuary or in our church?
Can you help us out? Does anyone see anything that makes you feel welcome? Oh, ribbons? Windows? Flowers.
Flowers.
Those dahlias are beautiful. Say again?
Painting. I agree with that one.
Yeah. Why does that make you feel welcome? Why does the painting make you feel welcome? I didn't catch any of that, but
No,
I
me
trust that
neither.
it was all very true. What else makes you feel welcome in here? Pete doing this. Yes. Creating the space beyond space and time. Mama?
The people.
Here's the trick. Yeah. Microphones.
Microphones.
That's a good one. Smiling faces. Knowing that everyone's a you.
Yeah. Or you curious anyhow.
Curious. Music.
Music.
Accessibility, elevators, ramps.
Wow.
My energy, our energy, your energy. Everybody. Yeah. This is pretty good.
Yeah.
Because
Those are all great answers. Thank you.
So, does first you pass the welcoming vibe check?
I think so. I think the vibes are pretty welcoming in here.
I think it does. But maybe you have other ideas about how we could be even more welcoming. We welcome you. We welcome you to tell us those ideas.
And now we would like to welcome all the kids out there to Children's Chapel. Today, we're going to be thinking a little bit more about welcoming and making sand slime.
What?
It all connects, I promise. I am very excited. How does that sound, guys?
That sounds awesome.
All
Thumbs
right.
up.
So first, we're going to do our children's blessing. So let's do it all together. We make little U's with our hands to start out. We say, we are Unitarian Universalists, people of open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands.
Have fun, everybody. I actually think I might go make sand slime. Does anyone want to preach this morning? Sounds super fun. I'm curious to see what mess will exist when we all go down for coffee hour, but all right, well, we now come to the time in our service that we set aside for quiet prayer and meditation. This can be a time to reflect on the events of the past week, look forward to what might come in the days ahead, offer a prayer of loving kindness to those in need of loving kindness, or simply be here now in this precious present moment. Following our time of quiet, I'll ring a chime and all will be welcome to come forward and light a candle for a joy, sorrow, or concern you have today. First, though, won't you join me in taking a deep, refreshing breath in, a calming breath out, and join me in a sacred time of silence. Friends, will you join me in another short moment of quiet? For all that has been said, for all we hold inside, for all we simply do not have the words to explain. We hear you, we hold you, and we pray for your immediate comfort, continued joy, a path forward, and the seeds of peace right now. Let it be so, and amen. Joanna will now introduce our offering.
Our half plate today supports the work of MANA. This is the Maine Association for New Americans, an immigrant-led nonprofit based in Portland, responding to many needs of the new Mainer community. Our half plate today will go to MANA's #Goals program, aimed at supporting young people in 4 Southern Maine high schools to articulate and reach their academic, personal, spiritual, and wellness goals. Weekly meetings at school and monthly overnight retreats in natural settings are planned to provide youth the opportunity to ground themselves and enjoy the Maine outdoors. For those in the sanctuary this morning, we will be passing the offering plate to one another. And for those gathered with us online, you are invited to make your offering using the donate button in the order of worship or by dropping a check in the mail. Thank you all for your generosity and to Sam for his gift of music.
Will you rise and join us in singing our song of thanksgiving? The short lyrics are in your order of service. Thanks, everyone. You may be seated. Our reading this morning is by the unofficial UU Poet Laureate, Mary Oliver. It is entitled Invitation. Invitation. Oh, do you have time to linger for just a little while out of your busy and very important day for the goldfinches that have gathered in a field of thistles for a musical battle to see who can sing the highest note or the lowest, or the most expressive of mirth or the most tender? Their strong, blunt beaks drink the air as they strive melodiously, not for your sake and not for mine, and not for the sake of winning, but for sheer delight and gratitude. Believe us, they say. It is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in the broken world. I beg of you, do not walk by without pausing to attend to this rather ridiculous performance. It could mean something. It could mean everything. It could be what Rilke meant when he wrote, "You must change your life." Oh, Mary. So maybe you didn't make it, and maybe you feel differently, but I loved our in-gathering service last Sunday. It hit all the notes. We laughed, we clapped, maybe some of us, myself included, wept a little. At some points, I felt a holy stillness in this room, and at other points, a real current of energy, of joy. Felt like church, you know? And those of you who made it might recall, during our sand communion, before we all got up and poured a little sand into a spiral mandala, we invited folks to share aloud what it is you bring to this community and what it is you need from this community. Now, when Gwen and I come up with these interactive plans, we generally go into Sunday with our fingers crossed, hands in prayer, bracing ourselves for the possibility that you all might just not be in the mood to talk, or that the prompts we've come up with won't strike the right chord with you. My concern last Sunday was that our sand communion questions, what do you bring and what do you need from this place, were a little too vulnerable to answer at a microphone in front of a whole crowd of people you may or may not know. You see, in my days working at boarding schools, I'd often invite players on the teams I coached or my advisees during advisory hour to go around and share a personal affirmation. You know, something you like about yourself, a quality or attribute you feel proud of, something good that you possess, that you bring to the spaces you inhabit. And every time I invited these affirmations, it was a struggle. The kids would sit there shrugging, making that skeptical teenage face, until I went ahead and started offering them suggestions, which they eventually, reluctantly accepted. And sure, high schoolers, right? They're not like, at least I wasn't, like, overflowing with self-esteem and a sense of security in the presence of my peers. But you know, during our monthly board meetings here, it's my role to start off the meeting with a reading and a check-in question for everyone to answer. And on more than one occasion, I have, in so many words, invited our beloved trustees to share a personal affirmation. I couch the question in our church lingo. What gift do you bring to our congregation, to your leadership role? And my friends, while our trustees do share personal affirmations with greater ease than those high schoolers, I can sense a similar reluctance in the room to do so. And yes, the initial response from many of them is that exact same wincing, skeptical face. It is not easy being human, is it? My God. So, asking you all on our first Sunday back, and perhaps your first Sunday here ever, to share out loud in front of everyone what you bring to this community, basically a personal affirmation, felt like a pretty big ask. And then we followed that one up with, what do you need from this community? A prompt that asked you to do something equally, perhaps even more challenging than affirm yourself. To ask us for help. Tell us something you like about yourself and then ask us for help? Those are tender, vulnerable topics for a public speaking prompt. What happened to the good old days when we could just tell everybody where our sand came from and talk about a nice summer experience we had? No, not right now. No, not in these times, my friends. Not in these times of loneliness epidemics, of rising seas and poverty levels. Not in these times of threats of violence and threats to democracy. No, this is a time of getting real, of being all in the mush of our joys and sorrows, our concerns and our hopes and our gifts and our needs. This is a time of saying yes. Yes to this. Yes to this. Yes to this. Yes to them. For it is a serious thing just to be alive on this fresh morning in this broken world. And you know what? Last Sunday, many of you came up here, and you know what you did? You said, yes. Yes, I bring this. I bring courage, compassion, perfectionism, a curiosity that won't quit, the chaos of my life, love, hope, my knowledge and history, my children, the next generation. And then you said yes again. Yes, I need peace. I need hope. I need to learn how a community works. I need brownies and cupcakes and pretzels. I need friendship, giggles, a good time, Sam's music, a village for my children. And you know what other word I heard a handful of times, and it just hit right here every single time? Acceptance. I need acceptance. I hope you will accept me. I hope to be accepted here. That is a brave thing to say. I mean, all of these things were brave things to say, as we discussed. It was brave to get up here and say anything at all. But to ask to be accepted? I mean, that's it, right? That's the heart of it. That's church. Who else feels the need to be accepted here? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah. I got a few of those skeptical faces just now. Good for you. All right. To be accepted is more than to be welcomed. It is to be seen, known, brought in as a whole person with all the mush of your joys, sorrows, concerns, hopes, gifts, and needs, not just intact, but affirmed. That is church. To make that ask, to receive that ask, that's church. It could mean something. It could mean everything, that ask. It could be what Rilke wrote, what Rilke meant when he wrote, "You must change your life." You must change your life is the concluding line in a Rainer Maria Rilke sonnet called The Archaic Torso of Apollo. It's a poem about the archaic torso of Apollo, an ancient sculpture that was once a life-size rendering of the Greek god of sun and light, But now, given the various rough and tumble moments of the past few millennia, the statue is just a headless, armless, legless marble bust of a torso. Much like Mary Oliver's goldfinches, Rilke assumes that someone strolling by this torso in a museum might not give it much time. But if they paused to take in the history and the beauty of this piece of art and the power of the God it embodied, they could be transformed by it. And in experiencing that transformation, they might realize, I must change my life. That is, I gotta slow down. Hear, see, feel, sense the holiness, the beauty and power of the world around me. Like the echo of that word, acceptance, an image from Ingathering that stayed with me this past week is the image of your faces. All 100 and something of the faces of all ages last week, giving what seemed to be your full attention to each person who got up and spoke. And friends, that service last week, that was long. It was like an hour and a half last week. But from my vantage point, which is pretty good up here, attention was rapt during the Sand Communion. Your heads and eyes all turned and lifted in unison to each person as they spoke. And then you all followed them as they poured their sand. And then you all turned together to look at the next person. It seemed we had all slowed down to see, hear, feel, sense a holiness, a beauty, a power present in this space. I wonder if it changed our lives. I wonder if it still is. This summer, I kept hearing this term thrown around, the third space. I heard it in reference to the Taylor Swift and Beyonce concerts. I heard it in reference to Barbie. I heard it in reference to gay beaches, to multiplayer video games, to many coffee shops and local joints that have closed since COVID. And this is what got me doing some research, I heard it in reference to church. So, what does the Eras Tour, Barbie, P-Town, Minecraft, the local pub, and our church all have in common? Having a good time, for one. But seriously, has anyone heard this term, third space? Is this a new one? Yeah. So, in sociology, the first space in a person's life is their home. The second space is our place of work. And the third space, yes, is a place that is not home and is not work. But it's not just any place. It's not just Hannaford. Though maybe it is for some people. It is not for me. The third space is a place that offers relief from everyday demands of home and work, and provides a feeling of inclusiveness and belonging, or we could say acceptance. Sociologist Ray Oldenburg, who coined the term, explains that third spaces are anchors of community life. They are playful, neutral settings that foster broad and creative interactions with friends and new friends. What's more, the post-colonial theorist, Homi Bhabha, understands that third spaces are more than spaces of stress relief and good times with good friends. He sees them as places of justice, places where the oppressed can gather to plot their liberation, the whispering corners of the tavern, he calls them. They are places also where the oppressed and the oppressor find themselves as equals and can come together in a shared experience. Simply put, third spaces are special and are not to be taken for granted. In COVID, we lost them almost entirely as home and work melted together, and we rarely gathered outside the confines of our homes. Pandemic or not, though, a vast number of people in our country don't have a third space. Given the capitalist grind of our nation, many people go to work, come home, and go back to work day after day after day after day after day. Many in our increasingly aging population can't leave their homes. And given the housing crisis, many people don't even have a home. And then, of course, let's not forget the epidemic of loneliness in this country. An epidemic that has reached such a terrible degree that the US Surgeon General just announced a national strategy to advance social connection between people. Many, many, many people long for a third space where they can feel accepted, and many, many, many people cannot find one. What I'm getting at, my friends, is that we are lucky. This is special. This. Shared spaces like this change lives. This shared space where we bring our compassion, curiosity, courage. This place where we come seeking friendship, affection, acceptance. This place where we are brave enough and feel loved enough to say so out loud. Are you kidding me? This is special. So in closing, and as we begin, I ask, what can this space be this year? What can this space do this year? What do you need to feel accepted? Do that for others in this space where all who come in peace and friendship are always welcome. I say, let this place be one of acceptance this year. Let this place be a place of liberation, a place of advancing social connection, a place of yes, a place where we can eat a brownie and have a good time. Let it be a place that changes our lives and the lives of others. Let it be all that and more. And let it be so. Amen. Our closing hymn is number 38, Morning Has Broken. Will you rise once again, my friends, in body and spirit, and join in singing? And will you please stay risen for our closing benediction? May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings experience profound joy and the causes of profound joy. And may all beings be free to give love and receive love and go to places where they know they are loved. And will you join me in the words of our unison benediction, my friends, written in your order of service? For those who come here seeking God, may God go with you. For those who come embracing life, may life return your affection. For those who come to seek a path, may a way be found and the courage to take it step by step. Let it be so. Go in peace, my friends. If you'd like to sit down and enjoy Sam's postlude, please do. We'll catch you downstairs.